Doesn't that look yummy? It is yummy. However, the title may not be great. This is garbage bread. But let me assure you, it's got lots of cool stuff and it tastes wonderful. Well, let's make it right now. Okay, so first up, we need a pan, some parchment paper because we're going to cook some bacon. We need 6 slices. As you can see, I just have a bunch of pieces. Yeah, that's probably close to 6. Into the oven it goes, 375, about 20 minutes. So we're going to be using our Tex-Mex mix for cheese, but we're also going to need some Monterey Jack. That's about a half a cup, but it needs to be pepper jack. I don't have any, but I do have pepper flakes. Well, I figure we mix that all together and we're going to get pretty close to what pepper jack is anyway. That looks good. Let's put it aside. Now we need dill pickle relish, not the sweet stuff. So all I have is these little gherkins. They're dill. Let's chop them up. And there's our 2 tablespoons of dill pickle relish, just like that. So that'll work. You can usually substitute different things depending on what you have in the house. So there's always a way around it. You can add things. You can do whatever you want, really. And let's put that aside and check on our bacon. Here we are, 10 minutes later. I'm going to flip the bacon and put it back in till it's done and nice and crispy. Like this. That's after about 20 minutes. I put them on some paper towels and let them cool down. So I got another little container and we're going to crumble it all up into smaller pieces. There, just like that. Isn't that fun? And if you don't really want it crispy, you know what? Take it out earlier and just cut it up. Alright, onto our ground beef. Out of the freezer, 1 pound of thawed ground beef. So now the trick here is we want to cook it, obviously, but we don't want big chunks, so we're going to kind of mush her down till we get something like that, and then keep cooking until it's kind of like this. So we're going to take this off the element into a bowl, and this is my idea of straining. Rather than just dumping it into a strainer, just tilt the pan back, let the little bit of fat kind of move to the bottom of the pan, and then I can just put everything back up. You see how it's straining? That seems to work. There. There's our ground beef, all done. Now, if you wanted to, you could cook the onions with the bacon. I didn't. So that's half a diced onion-ish. Do whatever you want. 2 tablespoons of mustard. Put a 1/4 cup of ketchup. Yeah, probably in the ballpark with both those. Who knows? And then you want to mix it all together. In goes our dill pickles, our dill pickle relish, and of course our crumbly bacon. Yeah, you see how this is all coming together? It's pretty cool. I still don't know where they came up with the idea of garbage bread, but whatever. Cheese. Here's our mix, 2 cups. But I don't have to be perfect because we still have our homemade pepper jack. So it's supposed to be about 2 cups. 3 handfuls is roughly 2 cups-ish. And we'll mix all that together. And then we'll take our pepper jack and carefully sprinkle that on top. And if you want it with a little more kick, you put a little more red pepper flakes in her. And we'll mix all that together. So now you see our mixture looking pretty cool. It actually makes a lot. And when I tell you the recipe, I called for 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I had plenty with what I was working with. Alright, so here's our pizza dough. Just canned pizza dough. If you want to make your own, go ahead. I don't have the biggest baking sheet, but it'll be big enough for what we're making. So now we're going to carefully roll it out and kind of spread it out just a bit. You don't want to go too far because if you do, could likely rip it, and you don't want that because then you got to fix all the holes. And we just want to pull it out a little bit just to make sure everything's going to get nicely covered. And now the fun part is we carefully score it about 1 inch. We want inch strips here. Not all the way through. And you'll see as we cut it. And then you do the same thing on the other side. And see how I've left room in the middle for the ground beef mixture? And now I'm just pulling everything apart because I'm not so sure it was all pulled apart, and I don't want to mess with it once we get our mixture going. So there we go. Looks good. On to our ground beef. Now there's a lot here. A real lot. So I may not use it all. I might have to make another one down the road. Yeah, I don't think it's all going to fit. So that was even with 1 pound of ground beef. Look at how much I got left. I can make another one. Anyhow, there's our mix now. I'm going to carefully kind of mush it together. The cheese acts as a binder, which is good. There. That way it's not too messy. And now we get to make our bread. So we'll take the strips, and we're just going to cross them over each other. I'm trying to close up the middle too, but don't worry about it if there's a hole or two. And hopefully you can see the way I'm crossing them over. There. On to the next one. It's pretty cool. This is one of those fun ones. You don't think it's going to be till you actually get to doing this. And then you just kind of go one after another. And as with everything, you get good at it at the very end when you're all done. So there we go. And the last two I just kind of pulled back because I wasn't really sure what to do with them. And it almost looks like a mummy. So, okay. There is our ready to go garbage bread, but now we're going to throw on some butter. That's a tablespoon I melted. To our top, a little bit of cheese. And that's parsley. Just for a little bit of green. Into the oven it's going to go. 425, 15 to 20 minutes until it looks something like that. Now that looks pretty yummy, I think. Okay, so we need something to dip with it. So that's just Thousand Island, a little bit of dipping sauce. Whatever you feel like putting in. That's what you can use. Cut it up into slices. I took the ends because I like the ends. And there you go. Garbage bread, who would have thought? Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.